Okay, so in this video what I'm going to be showing is how you can trade with less than 500k to build your balance up. I will be showing areas of the website in this, and I'll also be showing you ways of doing this just generally without using the website. So the first way you can do this without the website would be going gold rare, then putting striker into here, and then putting like 2,000 coins into here. So what you're doing by doing this is you're looking for the cards here that have relatively decent pace and can play in midfield. The people that buy these players are people that start Road to Glory teams. They do start these in May as well, so later into the game this is still a thing. So players like Richarlison would be a usable centre attack in mid, CM, etc. Whereas players like Icardi wouldn't suit this, okay? So Richarlison's one of the names you can use. So all you're doing by searching here like this with that filter is just picking out a few names. Richarlison's one. You can use Aguero as well. These are all suitable cards to play in Cam. Haaland can do it. Werner can do it. Inaki can do it. Like all these type of players, because of their pace and just generally they look like a good enough player to play in Cam. So you've now like noted down a few names. Again, you can look for more if you want to. Rodrigo's another one. So once you've got a few names written down, what you then do is obviously just go to your watch list so you know the names. So Richarlison, now what you're going to do is you're going to find the average price for each of these cards at the current point you're starting to do this. It varies every time you look. So if you type in Richarlison, without putting anything into here, you're going to just put in a buy now price and just find how much this card, its average price is on the market. So if you look here, you're looking for where there's around 10 on the market or so. And by the seams of it, it looks like it's 2.5k. So you're at 2.5k. There might be ones for 2.3, 2.4, but there's only a page at 2.5. So this card averagely is worth around 2,500 coins as a pack position striker. So the position this guy gets packed in is a striker, okay? And he's worth 2.5k on average. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put midfielder into here. Because what people do when they sell their teams is they convert these players for their Road to Glories themselves. And that costs about 7,000 coins if you buy the modifiers. For example, if you look here, you'll see striker to centre forward is worth over 2,000 coins. So in itself already, straight just to put it down to a centre forward will cost you 4k. And then centre forward to Cam is another 500 coins roughly. So you're already looking at 4.5k straight away there if you were going to do this yourself, let's say roughly. And then obviously Cam to CM is another 5k. So as the card goes down further in position, it costs more to do it, as you can see. So it would cost you 10k to put in from a striker to CM. So what you'd be looking for here is you now know the card's worth 2.5k. And now you'd be looking at midfielder. Obviously you can't go and sell this card for 12k because it costs that, but he's 2.5k naturally. Now you look at midfielder and you'll see this card is worth 3.9k, then 4.2, 4.9, 4.4. So the average price between all of this, between the range of 5.4 and 3.9 being the highest number and the lowest number, the average price is about 4.5k, as you can see. So you'd be selling this version in Cam, you'd be looking like this now. You would now see this card in Cam is worth about 4.5k, I'd say, because there might be one for 3.9, but once that sells, I'd say 4.5 is attainable. So now you know there's at least a 2k gap in Richarlison, so you know he's a usable card to do this with, okay? The same for CM, around 4.5. Now you know that, you could account for that and know the cheapest on the market currently was for 3,900, and then the next one was 4.2, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So now what you'd be doing is you'd be setting this to like 3.3, which is about 800 coins above the average price of the card, which is why we checked, because you don't just snipe at the average price. And what happens is when people sell their Road to Glory players, they will list this card for the price he's worth without the conversion, because they don't look into this that much. You don't just want to sit on one card like this and just sit here doing this, but you can do this during active times, which is normally during content of the day, which is at 6 PM UK time. This between 6 PM to 8 PM can be normally the best hours to be sitting here trying to snipe these cards. You do this to all the cards that are on that you've noted down from the watch list at the start, and be trying to snipe them in midfielder for the prices where it's profitable. I'd say you're looking for at least 400 coins profit per card, 300 to 400 per card. If you can't snipe or you're slow at sniping, just put your maximum price to the price you're trying to snipe at. and you'll see there's on the market, there's one that's got 46 minutes left at 3.2 start price. So you'd be trying to attain that through bidding. You just watch it and you come back to it. Don't just bid straight away, but you're trying to win them as cheap as possible, and then optimizing how much you sell them for by looking on the market in CDM and seeing how much they're roughly worth. So if you bought that, I'd say you'd sell that for 4.5k on 1 hour listings, and if it fails to sell, you would literally just keep relisting, and when you go offline, you list for 12 hours. You do that to the whole set of players you watch, which is Aguero, Haaland, Werner, Inaki, Rodrigo as well. And there's obviously a lot more like Gabriel Jesus, etc. Aubameyang, there's a lot. You'll find all these cards as you look. This is one way you can farm coins up. If your budget is above 45k, you'd obviously use the cheaper cards. You wouldn't be sniping Agueros. Some cards are better than others when it comes down to activity. Inaki Williams is normally quite good. Rodrigo's normally quite good. Werner's quite good. Not every card will have a gap at the point you check in, so at some times of the day this might not work as good as others. You have to ensure they have a good enough gap where you can make money out of it after tax. So you would do the same thing where you find the average price for Werner. And as you can see, Werner's worth about 16,000 coins. 15,750 possibly. 16,000 is a fair price. So his average price is 16,000 coins. You now put midfielder in, and you'd be looking and finding how much they're worth. As you can see here, the cheapest midfielder, Werner, is above 20. And these are possible to sell. You wouldn't want to overcharge the absolute life out of it, but at 21k, there's one on the market, and that's a CM. So you then judge, right, Cam to CM was the most expensive conversion to bring it down to from striker. So I'd sell CM at 20.5, I would sell Cams at 20k, and CDMs you normally match the CM price. So you'd now put in, at that, knowing that the cheapest price you're selling at, let's say, is 19.5 in a Cam, you'd now be looking to win these at 17,500 or less because you'd be making 1k or 17,750. And you'd simply be doing this, again, between 6 to 8 p.m. And you'd be trying to attain these cards like so. You don't just stick to one player. This is why you make a list of cards. On the website, we do have a list of players you can use for chem style trading, and you can use some of them in conversions like so. And if you can't snipe, you just be looking at bids. Again, the time we're doing this is on a Tuesday, and it's normally slower on the earlier days of the week, and it is 8:15. But there's two there on 1.4k start prices, so you've got a set price at 17,500 to buy at this current point, which will make you 1k per card at least. The more of a conversion, the more money you're going to sell it for, as the CM will obviously sell for more than the Cam. So that's one way you can trade. What I'll do is I'll stop here and I'll come back to you once I've got the next method started. Okay, so the next method you can do is silver. The way you do silver instead of silver rare is by flicking your right analog stick to the left. So when it's like this, you flick your right analog stick to the left hand side and it will change to special, gold, silver, bronze. You do silver, you put the chemistry style to basic, and you choose one of the top 5 leagues. So Premier League is one of them. Liga is another one of them. Serie A is another one. Bundesliga is another, and La Liga is obviously the 5th one. So they're the top 5 leagues. You can also do this to some of the top 9 nations as well, if they have enough, value. The reason for the basic chem style is because you take out the goalkeepers by using basic. Do not use goalkeeper basic. Use basic chem style. Goalkeepers are normally the least valued silvers, so you don't want to be trying to snipe them. You'd see silver basic, and in Spain you see that top 9 nations right now do not work too well. Some might work at the point of checking, but as you can see, most of these haven't got too much value to them, so you'd be doing the leagues instead. The reason leagues work is because obviously League SBC is a thing, and obviously them leagues are all required in League SBC, so you go from there, and they also are used in rivals as well. Sorry, not rivals, they're used in icon swaps. So you choose, for example, you choose Ligue 1, let's say, or you choose Serie A. Any of the top 5 basically. You'd find the average price for that league at the current time you check in. So as you can see, Serie A, there's only one on the market at 600 coins. You're looking for the average price of these cards, and the average price looks to be 650. So now you know they're worth 650 coins at this time. What you'd now be doing is determining, right, every single silver currently from the Serie A sells for 650. So now what you do is you lower it down to 550 minimum. Put them buy now to 15 mil if you're going to snipe, and just keep searching like so, sniping these cards. And you just keep backing out. Do not list one by one like this. You want to be trying to buy as many as possible at once, okay? So you just keep doing this. As you can see right now, we're getting quite lucky with a constant spur of deals. Obviously, you're not going to win every single card. You can't expect that. And the quicker you are, the more likely you are to win the snipes. But you simply just keep changing this and searching. Do not spam this when you're doing this because you'll get captured like loads. But just keep doing that and just searching, okay? If you don't want to sit there and do this way of doing it, you can put it to where there's one on the market at 600, for example. And because they're all below the hour remaining, yeah, because they're all below the hour, all you have to do is back out. Normally, you'd have to change your pricing here. But as they're all below the hour, you just search again. And you'll see that brand new cards can appear to the right hand side if they're undercards. So as we've seen, we're buying at 500 or 550, let's say. And you know that every card sells for 650. So you'd be buying that card and you just keep doing that. Let's say you've now bought 50 cards, 50 silvers with your budget. Again, you only need about 30k to actually start doing this. The more coins you have, the more you'll be able to buy en masse, the more you'll make. What you want to do is you already know that every silver Syria, for this example, sells for 650, as we checked. You would compare price on each and every single snipe, like so. You'd now be looking at this buy now price here. And what you're doing is you're looking for the cheapest number you see. So in this situation, the cheapest number we see is 700 coins, 600 coins. So this example, you'd have to sell for the average price of what you know every single silver sells for, which is 650. So I'd sell this one for 650 on 1 hour, like so. Make sure your start price is like that. And basically, if they don't sell, you just relist, okay? But some cards, the reason why you're doing this to every card to check is because some cards are more valued than others. Even if it's 50 coins more, when you're buying in mass, this can make a lot of money. As you can see here, if you just listed this at 650, you'd be losing out on a lot of coins profit where you'd have been able to make more. The cheapest number we've seen is 1.5k buy now price, okay? So now I'd list this card for 1.2 or 1.3. You can list at 1.4 if you want, but 1.3 is a fair price. So if you imagine if you did that with 50 cards or 100 cards a time, then let's say your average profit is 200 coins a card or 100 coins a card, let's say. The minimum you're going to make is 5 to 10k, but obviously you're going to make a lot more than that because on these 3 cards alone I've made 2k, as you can see. So that in this situation, the cheapest number is 800. So instead of selling it for 650, which was the average price, we'll sell it for 750, which is an extra 100 coins. So if you do that 50 times, it's an extra 5k you're making because you just checked. So every single 100 of these you buy should typically return you about 20 to 25k minimum. It can turn you over anything up to about 100k per 100 you buy if you get good snipes. But you just settle for the right buy price and you keep doing this. You can do this to any of the top 5 leagues. It does not need to be Syria. The same process with this. You find the average price for a Bundesliga silver. The average price is where there's a few on the market, not just one. As you can see right now, Bundesligas are worth more. At 950, there's around 6 on the market, 7 on the market. So now we know this is the average price for every silver Syria Bundesliga right now. That is an outfield player because of the basic chem style. Now what you do is you lower it down to 850, 15 mil, search again, and you try and snipe these cards. That's all you have to do to this. Obviously, you do not just sit here and list one by one. If you're low on coins, then yeah, you can. But I would advise buying in mass and then selling in mass rather than buying one, then keep doing that. So I wasn't paying attention there, but as you can see, the lowest buy now we see is 1.6, 1.5. So 1.5 is the cheapest, so we're going to sell at 1.3 or 1.4. I'm going to sell at 1.3 because I'm just trying to rush this bit of it. We paid 850, we sell for 1.3, we're making about 500 coins on that one card alone. If you do that 100 times, that's 50k. 500 times 100 is 50,000. So that's one example of what you do there, and that's all you do to it. If you're not fast at sniping, or you're on the mobile app or web app of FIFA, set your start price, set your maximum price to where you're willing to pay for the cards, which was 850. As we checked, the buy now was 950. Simply search the market and you'd be trying to win all these cards on bids for as cheap as possible, but you know you can pay up to 850 for all these cards. Again, do not just stick to one league. You'll find a certain league feels better on certain days. It just varies every time. So just try all different leagues and find the one that suits you. So what I'm going to do is I'll now go to the website and I'll show you an alternative method to what you can do. As you can see here, the silvers do sell relatively quickly. If they fail to sell in an hour, just relist them again, or lower the price of 50 coins, but they do not sell for less than the average price of that league. So you will sell them for that price basically. What I'll do is I'll get back to you once I've got the next method going. Okay, so in the next method, I'm going to show a part of the website. I'm not going to show you lots because obviously this is a paid feature, and if you guys are using the website and you're tier 1, this is under silvers, which is under the tier 1 buying prices at the top of the page. Should show you here. Tier 1 buying prices, silvers Xbox, silvers PS4. If you're on PC, you can still do this, just don't use the pricing, just use the filters. The reason there's no PC for this on foot trading is because you haven't got as much supply, so obviously it's not as good. What you'd want to do is you go down to the document. Again, I'll show you a few. As you can see, I've typed in a league here. You can type in any league you want and it will filter out to that league if you want to. So now you know this, you'd go onto FIFA and you'd be typing in league on, position, and then club as well. You can look at the pricing if we get supply. Again, watch this video if you're trying to do this with supply. If you're naturally just trying to flip cards during daytime of days where there's been no supply, such as today because we didn't get silver supply from SBCs or anything, I'll show you what you'll be doing from here. So what we'll be doing is we're going onto FIFA. And I'm going to get the website up on my end because I'm going to be looking at them filters like I just showed. And you'd simply go, for example, to the League On, like the spreadsheet says. It says League On. It says club and position. It tells you the club is Andrews SCO. Again, I don't do silvers too much myself, but these the ones from the spreadsheet are the better positions that are actually required in the SBCs. So these ones hold higher value than the average price of silvers from the previous method I just shown. So here you can go to Andrews SCO and then right back. And what you're doing is you're putting the pre-6 PM price into here, which is on the website. You're going to use that for the first bit of it. You're going to see it says 1.3k current on the website now. And you'd be looking for an anomaly, okay? It doesn't mean you can sell at these prices during supply or during no supply because they can rise, they can go down. But you'd be looking for an anomaly. As you can see here, there is no difference in pricing. There's no undercut or anything here. You can check bids. So you put in, I don't know, 800 coins would be a profitable price right here. And you'd be trying to win that on bid for 800 if you want to. I'd recommend more or less just keep flicking between all filters, going through it one by one throughout the whole spreadsheet because there's more than just League On, but I'm showing League On here. And just basically trying to identify deals. So the next one was left back from the same club. And you'd be doing the same thing, putting in the pre-6 PM price on the website, 1.4. And you can see there's only one on the market right now. So again, there's no difference in price here. You could raise it up a bit and you can see at 1.6, there's still 2 million on the market. So there's no gap there where you can make money. Let's say you've seen a 1.1k and the next one was 1.4. Then you could obviously buy the 1.1, sell it for 1.4. And you're just going to keep basically switching between the filters and you will pick up deals doing this. So again, pre-6 PM price, not on the market. At 1.4, there's still 1.4 on the market. We didn't get any supply today. This is why it's quite harder to find the deals. During supply, you'll find lots of deals doing this though. So the next league was the next club was Monaco. The first position is left back. Again, this is only 5 or 6 of the filters out of hundreds of filters on the website. So Monaco left back, pre-6 PM price currently for the time of recording is 1k. You can see there's one on the market, so just rise it up a little bit and see if that's an undercut or not. You can see this is an undercut, okay? So what you'd be doing here is you found yourself your first deal right there if you wanted to. You could buy this at 1k, even though the pre-6 PM was 1k. And you can see the next lowest buy it now at the current point is currently 1.5. So you could buy this at 1k like so. It's just sold because I didn't buy it first time. But you'd buy this at 1k, you'd list it for 1.4. And that would be one example of how to go through this. So imagine going through the whole document, you'd be doing this. So what I'll do now is I will go through the next method of what we can do to farm coins. But that was the third method with under 500k of how you can farm coins. These silver ones you can do from anywhere from 30k onwards to start farming up your coins as well. Okay, so in this method, this is the fourth method of the video. Live filters is what we're going to be using. So this is a tier 2 feature. Xbox live filters, PS4 live filters. So go onto the website, go onto the page you want. Please read this because it's very important to read this. After a few hours, you do need to check the pricing and just make sure they're not flooded for the sell price. If they are, just change your pricing down slightly to sell and change your pricing down slightly to buy. If they've gone up, then obviously the same thing applies. You can change your pricing up, and if you want to, you can buy higher or you can still try to snipe for the same price. So for the one example here, you can see we've handpicked out one of the better midfielder ones from method 1 in the video. Today, Anthony Martial on Xbox as a midfielder. Maximum price 15 million to the filter, 9,000 here. If you're on the web app or mobile app, again, you can try putting the maximum price. Instead of the buy now, you could put this to 9k here, and then look for bids if you can't snipe on mobile or companion, or on web app, sorry. So we're going to go on to FIFA now, and we're going to try and set this filter up and just show an example of it in action. So as you can see, we're going to type in on the method here, we're going to type in Martial. We're going to put midfielder in like it said on the filter. We put 15 million to here and 9k onto here. These players do change. Sometimes the same player stays for an update each day, but the pricing will get updated. So each day around 6 to 8 p.m. depending on the day. It's normally about 7 p.m. UK time, anywhere up till 9 o'clock depending if we get lightning rounds that they get updated. We do tweet out on the site Twitter when they're updated as well. So you've got the filter in now to 15 million into here, 9,000 into here like it showed for the current time of the update of the live filters, and you simply search and you keep changing this now until one pops up. If you just take this out quickly, you will see that Martials aren't on the market right now at 9k, whereas you put it to 9.2 they are. So what you're looking for here is you could actually rise to 9.2 here if you wanted to, only if you can sell for a good enough price to make money. So as you can see, the sell price was 10.250 on live filters. They're not on there anymore. 10.5 not there. 10.750 is there. So they've rose 500 coins in that space of time. So you could sell for 10.5 and then buy at 9.2 just at the time of this, because it's been 20-30 minutes and they're live. Just simply keep doing this and they will appear. Again, it depends on the time you're trying to snipe. Anytime after 10 p.m. UK time, they generally start slowing down to snipe cards. So you do need to take that into account. If you're going to do it at later hours of the day, do try bidding instead of sniping and try different filters at the same time. Because typically what happens is they still appear, but when they appear, they don't sell instantly. So you can generally just come back onto Martial and there might be one sitting on the market for the buy price, okay? And you just buy the card and then list it for the sell price. You switch between all the filters and you do that. If you want, you can put your maximum price to 9.2 instead, and you can try bidding on the cards instead. So again, there's a few there. There's a 9.3 there. You could technically buy this card because they were 10.250 in CAM. That's a CM. You could sell it for more. So that's another method of what you can use to farm your coins up. What I'll do now is I'll go and find the next method you can do, which will be the fifth and the final method of how to farm your coins 0 to 500k. Okay, so this is the final part of the video. This is the fifth method you can currently use to farm your coins up. What I forgot to mention in that previous method was on here you also have, under tier 2 live filters, you also have CHEM style filters and UCL cards. Inside each of these, they're also another good way you can farm coins up. These are really self-explanatory, but just please watch the video here, follow it, and you will make coins. You can also farm with these as well. So there's actually 7 methods in this video, but 2 of them I'm not going to show because these videos literally cover that as well. It is really important for any of the methods I'm showing here that use the website. There is videos and there's instructions in text, but depending on the area. All of this is very important you read. So if you're doing icons, for example, you would have to read, and I would recommend watch the video and the instructions. It's a lot to read and watch, but it does really help. And it will prevent you from making a lot of mistakes. So you can use this CHEM style filter and UCLs for both PS4 and Xbox as well. Obviously you have PC as well for UCLs. But what we're going to be doing in this last one, this is a tier 3 feature on the website. So if you have got tier 3, the first thing you do is you go to hashtag setup and you find the video right here, which is a tier 3 Discord alert bot, which is the extreme bot and all the deal alerts from all the areas in the website. This extreme Xbox bot runs about 22 hours to 23 hours per day. Probably the most overpowered method you can do on the website. So you'd simply go onto here after you've watched that video and you've understood it, and you start practicing. You'll see brand new pings come into here. For example, it just showing a Cooler Barley at 130. You'd click on the link and you can see he's down 15,000. And you'd now go onto Footbin, you check all the details on the card. Again, this is a higher budget card, so it's more people with 2 to 300k, but you can start looking at the 40k cards. It's better for your budget here. At this current time, 134. I'm just going to go onto FIFA quickly because if that is there, that is probably a deal. He's not on the market, so that card's already sold to someone that's probably using the Discord bot right now. So what you'd simply be doing if you have got, let's say, 200k, is you wouldn't be looking at the Cooler Barleys. You'd be looking at the cards such as Lopez that are around 30 to 40k each. This way you can buy 4 or 5 cards at a time and you'll be able to farm your coins quicker like so. So you wouldn't really be acknowledging the cards like Raul, obviously, Courtois. These are a bit out your budget unless the undercuts are large. I wouldn't bother wasting your time buying into a Courtois to flip for the sell price you decided from following the video, okay? You'd be looking for the cards such as Lopez, Cuadrado's good, Delaney, like they're not obviously good deals essentially right from this, but you're looking for cards like this, and obviously once you followed the video you'd understand how to do this. So you just check the card here. You can see it's 27.5k, the next one's 29,500. You'd go onto Footbin. Again, the more you practice with this, the better you're going to get. I'd recommend doing this on a PC. You can then use the companion app on FIFA, the web app, or you can use the console to buy the cards. You go into the market sales history, and you'll see he sold at 31,750, which returned 30k. The bot pinged that at 27.5k. Again, I'm doing this during daytime. There's a lot of tier 3 sites up on right now. They'll buy these cards quickly. But the more you practice, the better it's going to be. And again, if this card was there, it was the midfielder version. You'd put 27.5 into here, and you'd be trying to win the cards. You can take that out and you'll see the 84 defender. Just be very careful when you do this that you are looking for the right cards, because as you can see right here, this was telling you to buy the 86 rated, which was on the market for 27.5k at the time, which was 842, which was 3 minutes ago. As you can see, there is currently 49 websites I've freeze on. They're not all on Xbox, so don't worry, you can win these cards if you're doing it in real time. I've gone back up 3 minutes there to find that deal. But if you sit down here and just let it scroll down, each and every minute or so, there's like a 3-minute break between each set. It will stop for 3 minutes, it will start again. It could be on that break right now, but you'd see it will restart and you're looking for them cards below 40 to 50k, depending on how many coins you've got. Let's say you've got 200k, you'd be looking for a budget of, you'd be looking for about 5 cards a time, 3 or 4 at least. You don't want to just buy one couture and just be waiting for that to sell with a budget of 150k, because that's not an efficient way to farm your coins. And if you do that, then use one card like this. If you're going to do that, like going out the rules, buy the couture, let's say, if it was a good enough undercut and you're going to make 5 or 10k. And then simply just go and use one of the other methods from the video. So that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. I hope it's helped you. And once you get past 500k, you can start using the tier 1 features on the site and obviously the tier 2s.